guys.
Thursday. Sorry.
what-
Sorry. Well, I'll send you the shit and all that. Sorry, guys. We are. Oh, are we? Not
We're live.
We are
Oh,
live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Hey,
And
Mike,
welcome.
how you doing?
Doing
Old
good.
school garage.
Sorry, guys.
Not
We
you,
are.
Mike.
No, wait.
We've been trying to
We're
dissect
trying to
the
figure
car.
out what the hell's going on because there is some high horsepower beast that
Doing
is
burnouts
doing
nearby.
something that sounds glorious.
We're not,
That way.
In Mexico.
Well, I don't even know if it's in
But
Mexico.
it's in Mexico.
No, we're right on the
Hey,
border.
We're
right
on the border. That's over in Mexico, remember?
It could be a field tractor too. I don't know if it's a field or.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
It's
Wasn't
not
that one.
It wasn't him.
But there is some big block
because he's
shit
going right
on.
now.
Yeah.
There he goes again.
There's-
Okay.
And each time, well,
No, that's.
So I mean, like I said, I'm thinking the old road
Uh-huh.
is a possibility because
Old Mexico Highway.
Old Mexico Highway, Old Mexico Road, because that would be a place where you could do some shenanigans and not have a lot of viewers for a little bit anyway,
I was gonna say the sound. If sound's traveling from there, oof.
especially through the trees.
God damn, that thing must sound amazing.
But if it's out on the the main Mexico Road, the 4-lane Mexico Road, that dude was flat getting it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And-
And if it
that's-
happened to be at a particular airstrip or taxiway, dude's got balls, and holy shit.
What
No,
did
but
Mike say?
I'm also trying to figure out.
I
If
mean, because there's like what 5,000 or 6,000 feet of runway at Inverness.
God damn, like
He's
seriously.
running it again.
Okay,
Oh
that's a
my
limiter.
God!
That's a limiter.
Did you just hear? Oh,
All right,
that's
hold
on the
on.
main road.
Sorry,
Dude,
sorry,
that was
guys.
like-
he's ripping up and down
that
Mexico
was
Highway.
well above 9,000
Yes,
RPM.
that was a 9,500
Yeah.
pound,
Sorry, guys.
9,500
Like seriously,
RPM
we're
gun.
trying to
We've
figure
been
out
listening
what
to this guy
is.
rip around here for the last 30 minutes, and we're trying to figure out exactly where he's at.
We are hoping that he comes this way because I am jumping my ass over the fence to try to
Well,
stop
that
him in the
time it
middle of the
almost
road.
sounded more that way. Like
That would.
Oh,
That
oh,
would.
No,
That's not it.
Okay.
No, that would be right where you're pointing at. That would be the big 4-lane Mexico Highway out there.
Because
So
Jesus Christ, man, like that. It sounds, guys. I know you can't hear it. It sounds glorious. This
Yes.
this
It really
has to be
does.
a giant big block
turning some RPM.
turning.
Yeah.
Like that RPM that does.
That was a
it-
9,000
Yeah.
RPM hit right there.
And it was
Oh.
not the first one we've heard tonight.
Yeah. Oh.
anyway, we're Pints and Pistons.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys.
This is what
Chris.
we do.
That's Brian. That's Mike, and
Hi.
I'm Daniel.
That's Daniel.
Hi, Dan.
It's me.
So
Sorry.
we got a couple of topics tonight, I think.
topics and
Some
things.
little snippets that we've read over the past week.
Fun
Yeah.
things to read about and talk
My
about.
my favorite one I read this week is the thing about Cadillac.
So Cadillac. So
Your Cadillac converter.
no, not my Cadillac converter. Just the Cadillac, like the car
You
brand.
ain't
Not,
gonna
not
Car
the part.
brand.
Not
You
the
ain't gonna
part.
convert it though.
Nothing's been converted.
Okay.
Nothing's been hacked off and stolen.
We're good.
We're
We're
good.
good. Okay.
So Cadillac, GM in general, but Cadillac with their V cars, and this was rumored to happen on the Z06 when it actually starts arriving, is that they were going to penalize the car flippers, and that if the car was sold within the first year of ownership, you're going to void the warranty on it.
Ooh.
And one guy refinanced his Escalade V and then had a problem and had his warranty denied because it looked like the car had changed hands,
Oh.
but all he did was refinance it.
That's
Right.
unfortunate.
I was.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's-
it's
so
a
that's-
double-edged sword at that point.
And
Yeah,
as
so
of
I mean-
right now, GM has no comment.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, because if I was the owner, I would just like show him that, and then if I was GM, I'd be
Especially
like,
if you-
"Oh, okay, no worries."
Well, here's the
But-
problem. I understand why they're doing it, but they're not hurting the seller. They're hurting the buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
that's true.
buyers are already in a situation where if they want this car, a flipper might be their only option because the car manufacturers obviously can't figure out how to pump out enough cars.
Yeah.
Or
You know, they're
appropriately
making
priced.
these, they want to make these limited run models, and then they're shocked that people are
Flipping them.
flipping them. Why on earth would they do that? Well, you
I
only
wonder
made
why.
100 of a car,
Yeah.
and somebody wants one, and they got it, so it's worth more than they paid for it.
Yep.
To a point.
Supply and demand.
'Cause
Right.
We've seen a
strictly
couple of
supply
recent
and demand.
examples where that did not work out.
Yes, we have.
So there was that. So yeah, like I mean, oh, by the way, speaking of limited run cars, the Ikuzuki Yellow Z Proto that I saw the one time I got the pictures of, I've seen that thing on the road locally 2 more times since
Nice.
with a regular tag on it, so it's local, and the guy drives it.
That makes me sad. I want to see it. Oh,
We got to spot that thing.
see, like, so
Shut
comparatively,
up.
this is nothing
The only other thing I could think of
because he's
is
barely
an
in it.
airboat out on the lake.
I don't. That ain't the right
No,
direction for the
no,
lake,
that ain't
though.
the right-
Yeah.
no.
An airboat maybe in somebody's driveway being tested, but man,
he's
he was
moving.
really
he's
hitting
moving.
it.
But
Yeah.
but like the last hit, he turned an insane amount of RPM. That hit right there was
That was
like,
like half throttle.
yeah.
See, I hear the airboats constantly at work.
Yeah.
Because the lake's right there.
Yeah, every now and then I can hear him from my
That-
house.
No.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
doesn't sound like an
almost
airboat.
like the same type of motor, but
I mean,
where that is,
but like
there's
Chris,
no.
that could be somebody in their yard with an airboat though, like effing
Because-
around.
no,
with
because
it
It
on a
that
seems
trailer.
like it's
moving.
moving.
No,
That thing was-
It does
it
seem
is
like it's moving. You're right.
Yeah,
The mystery
I mean,
of the car.
okay, so
Like,
the rowdiest pass that we heard, he was definitely heading south.
yeah, because it was going that way
Yeah, he
as
was heading south.
it was increasing in RPM.
And I'm thinking if he was heading south, turning that kind of RPM, and that was a rolling hit. That
Yeah.
wasn't, he wasn't shifting, so that was a roll, probably from a 40 or 50 mile an hour roll.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking he was definitely out on the main Mexico highway, and he was heading south when he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going back and forth this way. It's,
Yeah.
it's
And I
not
imagine there might have
boat
been a little
going
bit of
back
wheel
and
spin
forth.
involved in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because you got to think of where the lake is, and it would be coming from that way, not this way. So.
Well, that lake chain kind of spalls all
Well, yeah,
around
but
through
even
there. So.
there's no room that way for them to do like what they're doing.
Yeah, it's.
It's tight. It's tight.
Yeah,
it's more of an idle area.
I'm thinking that's something out on the
Yeah.
main 4-lane Mexico road
Yeah.
right out there, and he was getting
Because
rowdy.
I was thinking about that, but it's so tight. There's no.
I'm kind of thinking when I'm done here, I might have to drive over there and see if there's any marks on the pavement.
There's gonna be some marks
There
on the
has
pavement, I
to be.
It's
think.
like I want to investigate this.
And it's not even an airplane. Like it's not even like an
No,
airplane.
that was not an
Yeah,
airplane.
no,
That was
that is
a V8. It was
Yes.
big block. I'm guessing there was some compression involved, whether it was artificial or natural.
Probably nitrous.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
any big block with a lot of nitrous would make that kind of noise. And that was a converter lockup.
Do you think it could
Has somebody
be an
got a dyno around
No,
here
do you think it could be an engine stand?
or something like that?
No, because engine stands don't move unless something has gone wrong.
I'm still wondering if there's maybe a truck pull going on, because that it does sound
That
like truck pull.
That's the only thing, because it sounds like hooking up and then doing like a full pull.
Yeah.
Because it's
Oh,
under load.
old school said he could hear it through the mic.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
That's
but
impressive.
it's one of those. It has a load. Like it's not just like a free revving.
Maybe it is
There's-
a tractor pull,
There is a load going on behind that motor.
or maybe somebody was able to like rent out the arena to do practice.
I
tractor
don't
pull?
I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
don't know. But like, sorry guys. Like it's car stuff. Like we're trying to figure out what this wonderful, glorious sound is, because it sounds like the gods are coming through the trees.
And the same thing that like the thing is it sounds still like the same engine every time though. That's why I don't think it's like a tractor pull. It doesn't sound different, you know.
I think I solved it.
23rd annual tractor and truck pull.
Oh, maybe it is going.
February 4th, 2023.
Is today February 4th?
Today is the 3rd.
So they're probably fucking
Practice.
practicing.
No.
Okay. Or
February
qualifying.
3rd, 2023, open at 1 p.m., pull at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, that's what's going on.
We're hearing a tractor pull go on.
Hey, but
Okay.
still, holy crap, that stuff sounds good.
I know.
We're
Alright.
sitting here going, man, somebody is just out there getting down.
Well, we're not exactly wrong. Yeah, well, we're not exactly wrong, so...
Fucking get it.
So that 9,000 RPM was probably a braking drive shaft or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, that
That
was a
some-
whoopsie.
yeah, that was a. Oh my god, it's done.
All right, that makes so much more sense.
Because, well, and it's one of
I'm
those,
okay with
like,
hearing that for the rest of
The
the night.
reason we're hearing it move is because they're moving down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was one of those. There's definitely a load behind it.
But where do they lay out the pole for that?
They go basically to
the awning, underneath the awning.
Yeah, the big awning.
Okay.
It's all dirt there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They basically do that area. They start
And
a
they
little
don't.
bit before.
Yeah, they don't
and
do.
then they go.
I think they only go like 100 feet or something
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
not.
Don't
They're
they?
not doing the 300 and something
No,
pole, but
yeah.
they basically do like what an 1/8 mile.
So that
track
would make
be
sense
with
because a
that.
lot of those are probably if they're
Super
doing it
low
there.
gearing and all.
Yeah,
that.
they're not like the crazy twin engine supercharged crazy shit. It's like they're like the NA and the nitrous and like
Yeah.
the nitro cars and
Yeah.
alcohol.
Uh-huh.
Okay, or trucks.
All right,
Tractors,
so
sorry.
Mr.
Anyway,
Mystery
yes,
solved.
mystery solved.
Sorry,
Da, da, da,
guys.
da.
Yeah.
We're Pints and Pistons here to solve your car sound mystery.
Yeah.
So speaking of solving problems, the legislature here in Florida is trying to solve a problem, and I'm a little on the fence about it, which is odd. Hearing this come from me.
I know.
So they're proposing a law to make cruising in the left lane illegal, like just cruising for no apparent reason, and being slow in the left
Well,
lane
it's
and all that
already-
sort of stuff. No, it's not really a written law.
Yeah.
It's just sort of a general, hey, don't do that.
It's in the good book of the road.
It's in the good
But
book of the road.
Have you like you driven like very far up north in any of those states up there?
No,
So
we have enough of them people down here.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in most of them, it's weird because no one's in the left lane. Everybody's in the right lane unless they're going around people. They go in the left lane.
Now, you're the first person I've heard ever say that about drivers up north.
But yeah,
And honestly, from my experiences with drivers up north down here, that shit doesn't happen. Just coming back from the locale the other day, 3 lanes wide, 200. Who was clogging up the left lane? Pennsylvania, Ohio, which is New York, New Jersey, and Maine.
I think everybody just hates doing it, and they come down here so they can drive how they want. Like, cause
So yeah, so they're
Yeah.
like pull you over and get a ticket for just cruising in the left lane. The problem, and I hate left lane dickheads with a seething passion.
but it's the people who go under the speed limit in the left lane.
Yeah, but I hate left lane dickheads with a seething passion. I don't care if you're going if you're in the left lane going 20 miles an hour over, and someone's coming up behind you.
Get out of
fuck
the
out
lane.
of the left lane.
Oh yeah,
Okay, doesn't happen. But I'm a little wondering about how this is going to play out because Ocala, Tampa, Orlando, any big, large urban area, and especially even around here, 44, 486, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you can't just use the right lane only.
no.
The roads are full.
Yes.
Everybody's going in the same direction.
Correct.
So, how do you enforce no cruising in the left lane?
Now, is this just on closed access highways, or is this supposed to be on
As
anything?
far as I recall, it's supposed to be on any multi-lane highway.
See, that doesn't work.
It just
Exactly.
doesn't. No.
To say that on a closed access highway, a freeway,
Yeah, an interstate or toll road, yeah,
but on any 4-lane highway
or multi-lane highway.
or multi-lane highway, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it can't.
No.
So they'll just be able to discriminately pull over people when they feel like for being in that lane.
Kind of like they do now.
Yeah.
You know,
And like I said, and this is like I said, it's weird hearing me say that I'm on the fence about this because I abhor left lane dickheads. They piss me off.
Right.
yeah.
I hate having to pass on the right.
Shit, I forgot the mugs.
That's okay, Mike. They'll stay cold while you're getting those.
Yeah, and I have to go tinkle anyway. No, I had for the first time in a very long time.
Dan, you're supposed to have a pregame piss. Here,
I
before you go.
did. I have to tinkle again. I drank too much water. I keep buying those frickin' liquid deaths and drinking a ton of them. Just delicious.
I need to try one of those.
Are you working tomorrow?
Yeah.
You can go to Brandon and ask him to get mine out of the fridge. You can have it if you want it. If you want to try it.
Okay.
And I'll even tell him. Actually, I'll text him. I'll be like, bitch, give halfway through the day when Chris looks like you need it, give him water.
Okay.
Well, when I come in tomorrow.
All right.
Well, that'll be a little past halfway through the day.
So here's what we've got tonight.
Quarter
Now,
banquet.
we've
Mike.
had.
Mike has found us something. You want to show the camera the can?
Sure.
He has gotten us Golden Road Brewing Guava Card. Wheat ale
So
with
we absolutely love the mango cart.
Mango cart's fantastic. Yeah, wheat ale with guava and passion fruit. A series inspired by the iconic fruit cart vendors of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Let me fill this back. Sorry, guys.
Says, thanks for enjoying our beer. For us, living and brewing in LA are equal parts free spirit and hard work. Driven by ambition with a warm California breeze at our backs, we're proud to share our creation with you. Let's hope to see you at one of our California locations soon. Cheers. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's one of those mango cart. Absolutely fucking love the mango cart. Mango cart is, I mean, you've had it. We've all had it.
We've all had
very
it.
refreshing.
Very good.
It's very refreshing, and it's almost one of those. It's like just drinking regular mango juice. So I'm hoping this is going to be
I'm really
the same way.
curious about
And
this.
and in our
Cool.
area right now, Publix has
What
it on
is this?
sale, 12 packs, buy one, get one.
Guava
Six
cart!
6-pack, buy one, get one. Still.
I am
and
excited.
So if you go to ABC right now, $7 for a 6-pack.
No way, it's the guava cart.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited.
Because
I
mango
guess-
cart's amazing.
Yes, we have
Like I
our
said,
variant.
the
I'm
only-
excited.
I've eyeballed this one a few times, but
Oh,
it's
smell it.
it's given me pause because it's of the passion fruit. I'm not a
that
big
smells
fan of
so
passion
good.
fruit.
Oh,
So
smell that. Ugh. Oh.
I'm getting her.
It has the guava smell very strong.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it
smells
does.
good.
Man.
That smells good.
I mean the smell of it is kind of like having a Doritos Mexican soda, the guava one,
Mm-hmm.
with beer. Just without the guava color.
It smells so good.
It's like Corona mixed with that.
Like it just.
I'm excited.
Cheers, kids.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Bring it in, Dan. There we go.
Oh, that's glorious.
That's delicious.
Oh, that's
Oh.
fantastic.
Damn.
It's juice. It
It
is
is
just
juice.
fucking juice. That's all it
It's
is.
fizzy juice.
It's fizzy juice.
It's
Oh my
fizzy
God.
juice.
Slightly fizzy juice. Relax.
Oh, it's you.
Well, Brian.
You should have waited a few more weeks until it gets warmer.
I know.
Because this is a spring summer beer.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is.
This is a hot night.
Oh
beer.
yeah.
Yeah, this is higher temperature, slightly higher humidity.
Oh.
This
We're
is
at-
this is. I'm
this'll be-
sweating, and this is gonna cool me down.
This is like we're out here. It's a little bit warm. It's a little bit humid.
Oh, wait till the burp.
We're a little bit. We're just borderline starting to pour sweat because we're in Florida. This would be a welcome respite from such conditions.
correct.
Yo,
That was a very good way to put that, Brian.
That was
Good
almost
choice of
poetic.
words.
I
It
wish this was an Italian ice. Like, yo, like, this tastes so good.
I want to freeze it and skate
Is
around
it?
on it in
Yeah.
the wintertime. And then thaw it out and drink it in the summer.
Yo, imagine this as a
As a
like
slushie?
as a slushy.
It would be good as a slushie.
like seriously.
Guava cart popsicles.
Right? No, like seriously, no.
Hold on, no. He's onto something.
I know.
Golden Road, you're welcome.
Yo.
Golden
Great
Road,
job,
thank you.
guys. Great
Yeah, this
job.
is-
That is a fantastic beer. I really like
Oh
that.
my god, this
It's
is
so yummy.
wonderful.
I can catch a little of the passion fruit in there, but the guava's balancing it out, so it's damn.
It's a nice hearty mouthful of flavors.
That is another absolute win from Golden Road.
Yeah,
Because Mango Cart
I
is
still love Mango Cart.
fantastic.
Bro, mango.
I,
This
gra-
is
I grab
just as
mango
good.
cart all the time.
yeah. This is
I love that.
this one's a banger.
Oh my god, that.
I think
Now
as the
I'm
Brits
mad
would
that I
say,
did-
this is a Kraken beer.
Yes. A cracking good beer.
Yes, I think this is great. This is fantastic.
Now I'm mad
Well
I
done,
didn't
Mike.
buy the other 6-pack because
Hell
I
yeah.
would save 10%. She even asked me, she's like, "You don't want another one?" I'm like, "Nah, it's just gonna be 4 of us tonight." And I'm like, "And I don't want it to be a bad one." She's like, "It's not gonna be a bad one." I'm like, "But yeah."
She was right.
She always is. Always is. Oh god, that's
That's
so good.
look. It's
I know,
that good.
It's, so good.
It's that
Like,
good.
it
It's almost
really
gone
is.
already.
It's so good. Oh.
This absolutely makes me forget about the little bit of banquet I got left. I'm afraid now the banquet would just be harsh on the palate compared to this.
Yep.
No.
And banquet's good. Yeah, we also have us just for shits and giggles. We have us the OG Coors tonight,
Yeah.
and
Thank
we didn't
you,
even
Chris.
have to race to Texarkana to get it.
Yo, did you see they just did the other the running of it from Atlanta Motor Speedway to Texarkana and back?
Now,
Bandit Run?
was this all the old guys with the Trans Ams
No,
doing the Bandit
it was
Run, or is
just-
this somebody actually making like a record attempt?
No, basically it's a cannonball run of doing
Yeah.
that. So, but
Yeah,
no,
it's-
Damn, that guy was.
but no,
getting it.
not like just one person. It's basically a road rally where everybody, almost like the Gambler 500, have
Okay, so-
shitty
so-
cars
okay,
and do it, and it was wonderful. I saw it on TikTok, and I was
Oh,
like,
so it's kind of like the dust ball that they did
Yeah.
a while back with 100 horsepower cars.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I was thinking because there was like
no, it wasn't a record attempt or anything like
yeah,
that. It
because
was
there
just
actually
for
is
fun,
a
go
band.
do
There
it.
is a Bandit Run record that the Cannonballers do. So there's the Bandit Run, there's the there's the Cannonball Run,
Yeah.
then there's a coast to coast run that pretty much runs the southern United States and ends up I think at Jacksonville, either Jacksonville or Daytona is for
Yeah.
the coast to coast, and then there's the Bandit Run record.
Mm.
And I believe the record holder of the Bandit Run was the guy who did a solo run. I don't know if he got the solo run for the Cannonball. He did a solo. He rented a Mustang, filled it up with fuel
I was
tanks.
gonna say the Mustang guy.
Yeah, the Mustang guy.
It's solo. It is a solo.
I don't know if he got the record or not, but he did the solo Cannonball run, and then he pulled all the fuel tanks out of it, and then him and his dad came down and made a Bandit Run attempt and ended up setting like a fantastic Bandit Run record.
That'd be a
and
really
then-
cool thing to do.
Turned the car and then basically gave the
tasky
car
with
back
that.
to the rental car company, but he kept track of the VIN, and when the car came up for sale, he bought it back.
That's even cooler.
No, well,
I would do that.
Watching on TikTok, like this thing, like it was there was a couple people with like old 70s vans that were like ambulances and all that. Like there was a couple like shitty old like Mercedes and all that.
Oh, speaking of that,
but just watching like that, like I would absolutely love.
the musket
like,
ball. Musket ball was the 100 horsepower
Yes.
car
Oh,
that
yeah.
went same route as the Cannonball Run, but they were 100
Yeah.
horsepower cars. So it's called
But
the musket
it's
ball.
one of those I would absolutely love to just like be like, guys, you know what? Let's load up into Focus. We're going from Atlanta to fucking Texarkana. We're
Back to
coming back.
Atlanta. Shotgun.
Let's go.
Shotgun.
No, you want to sit in the back.
No, I don't want to sit in the back.
In his car, you want to sit in the back. In the Focus, you want to sit in the back. The back seats are very
Because
comfortable.
after an hour and a half,
That front seat's not that comfortable.
After an hour and a half into Recaros, you're dead.
I was gonna say because I was fine when with the short trip we did to.
Well, that was the
half run.
Ocala.
Yeah, but I was fine
Chris?
for that one.
Yeah, the
He's like, Mike, why are you so angry? I'm like, this fucking sucks. It's spicy, boys. It's spicy.
See, my car's not bad. The farthest I've driven my
I got
car is to Miami
Recaros
so
that
far.
are great going around corners
car's
and going
not
back
bad.
and forth to work.
But here's
You
the
spend
thing.
more than 2 hours in them, and I'm like, fuck this thing.
But
It sucks.
the Recaros in your car seem narrower than the Recaros in the Mustangs.
They are.
Yeah,
They
they're
are.
smaller.
They
Hey,
hug
you're
you.
lucky they
hug
aren't the
you.
Fiesta ones. The
Oh, yeah,
Fiesta ones are even smaller.
Well, I figure the Fiesta ones would fit you perfect.
See,
The
my
Fiesta
car
ones do fit me
my
perfect.
car just has insert generic JDM seat here, and it works.
Mine just has, standard Ford Mustang seat with no real bolstering. And
Well, see, but the thing is
Here's
I
the-
have no lumbar, there's no lumbar adjustment, no anything of that adjustment on my seat. All I can do is up, down, forward, back,
And recline.
Yeah,
That's
see,
it.
I like Paige's car. Her seat's
But
so
I've also
cushy.
seen the way you guys ride in your car. You're like, it's 2 clicks away from riding full cholo. So
Me? No.
Yeah.
No, not me.
compared to how try to drive my
I mean,
seat, yeah.
the 86 is like that because that's where it sits. The Focus? No, it's
Yeah.
up and down.
I'm telling you what, my car, like on a twisty road, like the, out in that water side
Yeah.
of Mexico.
Tail of the gator.
Yeah, tail of the gator in Mexico. There's certain parts of that where I
Bracing.
could be faster through some of those corners
If you
in
had
my
more
car
bolster.
if I had bolsters in the seat to keep me planted. Because I'm literally
You're
there's a lot of
fucking
times where
doing
I would like to
ass
be
side
yeah.
around.
that I would like to be 2 hands on the wheel. But
Well,
I'm
you
kind of
Because you're
I'm turning, elbow into the door panel, and
elbow into cup holder.
Yes.
Almost.
and I'm literally holding on to the
And you know
I'm-
how it is because
there's-
it's the same thing with Sabrina's car.
Yeah, there
Well-
are some right hand corners that I'm going through. Instead of like this, like I would like to be,
You
I'm
got
like
cup holder on.
I'm like this, arm braced against the door, and other arm grabbing the center console to keep me from being against the door.
Yeah.
yes, because
I have no-
when I did autocross with my car, it's why I don't like having leather seats in my car, because literally I was
slide back and
sliding
forth, yeah.
around in the seat so much, I was having to brace my left leg up against the door panel.
Unfortunately, I can't brace my left leg because then I can't control the pedals.
Right, like I was having to use one leg to brace myself because it was, and I'm like literally holding the wheel for dear life because I'm coming out of the seat.
That must have been actually on left-hand bends. That must have been rather uncomfortable for your right leg because where the center stack is on our cars, it's not rounded. It's pretty square
Yeah.
corner.
Yes.
I guess that's
So
where.
I can imagine like you in a hard left-hand bend, you're having
That's
the
right.
throttle
I'm like-
on it.
Well,
No,
in the
also
left
don't
hand,
do
I
it
was
at all.
literally
No,
just
well,
holding the steering wheel.
I don't either, but I have
with
the
a death grip,
I have
holding
that
myself
fabric
in.
stuff. You know, I'm half leather, half like that fabric
Well,
stuff.
see, I'm
and
full.
that's where it bolsters is right at the ass
Well,
part.
I can tell you solidly, the seats that are in our cars, I mean, the upholstery on our seats is a little bit different.
I know.
The pattern is a little bit different. But as far as the overall shape of the seam, it's
They're like
relatively the
passenger seats.
same. It's
I would say.
our seats are relatively the same, other
Yes.
than just the pattern on the upholstery.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we had cloth seats, you still wouldn't have. You'd still be moving all
No,
over the
you
Yeah.
do bounce. It's a regular ass, just like transporter car seat.
It's
I mean-
one of those. The 86 has more side bolstering than their cars have.
Which is sad because those seats were not meant to have like bolstering for going around corners. Because
Y'all need
rock
some
body.
S2000
Yeah.
seats.
When-
That's what they need.
so when-
S2000 seats.
I really want to
The
get. I really
Mustang
want.
gets replaced as a daily driver. The first thing I will be doing is a set of racing seats in that car.
I would.
And the
I would
first
be
thing
happy.
we're doing for a daily driver is getting a Focus ST.
I've thought about it.
I know
I
you
would.
did.
I would be happy with a set
Why
of
haven't you?
13, 14 manual Recaro seats.
Yeah.
I would be happy with those. I think in my car.
I want the first
What was?
generation.
What's the
Mazda
one
Speed
that's in?
3 seats.
What's his name's? The orange Mustang, the twin turbo one.
Heckmans.
Oh, those
Heck,
are those are just the base S550 seat.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's
That's
got the.
That's a base car.
That's a
Nope.
that is a base car.
No, he's got the other. He's got the
No.
racing seats in
No.
his car.
No,
yes.
he doesn't.
No.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
That's a base
I don't know.
Mustang. That is a
I can't help you. I
base
don't know.
Mustang.
I know it's a
GT.
base Mustang, but his seats are
No.
not base Mustang seats.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They were something else. One of the reasons he bought the car is why
He bought it for the orange.
Bought it for the orange.
there was some, the seats are different though.
He bought it for the orange.
I did transmissions.
That it's a 6R80 and that it's a factory 355 car. Those are the reasons he got that car. And it had the Roush nose on it.
I'm 99%.
I've driven that car.
9% sure that car has
Chris.
racing seats in it.
Chris.
Though. It's got
I
the.
gotta go with Brian. No,
I've
they
It's
driven
don't.
not the Recaros. What's
No.
the other ones that are popular in
No.
Mustangs?
Sparko?
Not
No,
Sparkos.
Chris.
Those
Or-
are those
or-
are stock seats.
Chris, I have driven that
Those
car.
are S550 seats.
I have
promise
had
you.
my ass has been planted in that seat.
So have I been in that car too? Remember?
They're-
Yeah.
they're-
I put the drag slicks on that car.
Yeah,
They're,
like I
they're
said.
stock 550 seats.
Yeah, they're just base S550 cloth seats. And even I was shocked at how much bolstering and how supportive they are.
They're stock
You know, I
S550
miss my
seats.
MX3 seats.
You know
Those
what
were
I
good
miss?
like that.
I miss 2003.
Oh, 2003.
Are we going back to Nopi?
We're going back to Nopi. We're going back to hot import
Nights?
nights. Oh God! Oh, remember going to hot import nights? Oh, fucking so good, so good.
You could still see
Titties?
like 80s and early like 90s mini trucks were still sort
Oh,
of
I miss
around.
the mini truck scene.
90s mini trucks were still sort of hanging around.
Remember the pre-LS everything
Oh
scene?
yes. Remember getting
Oh.
a J body with a body kit.
And the colors.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Bass boats.
Remember V6 Cavaliers with wild body kits and wide wheels?
And a
able to
Jackson
put in the fucking-
supercharger
yeah,
on
the
it.
Jackson
Supercharged motor?
Supercharger.
Oh, that one that came up the
The
carbon
Sunfire.
coffee that one time. Oh my
Sunfire?
god!
You remember
yes,
the one-
I love the Sunfire.
The
That
wide
yellow
body
one.
sun.
Yep.
Yes.
Speaking of Sunfire, Mike, since you might drive by there on the way to work, have you seen the
I don't wanna
copper
talk about
Sunfire
Sunfires.
convertible
Yes.
for sale?
Yes, and I love it. So that color
There's
is
inside things that just happened.
that-
We'll have to talk about that off show.
Wait a minute, is
that
this the
Pontiac-
Sunfire story you told us about before?
No,
No.
Is there a new Sunfire
There's-
story?
it's hilarious. I'll talk
Wait a
about
minute.
it after the
We
show.
have to do after the show.
Okay, I have to ask: is this a continuation of the same story, or is this a new story?
I don't know what you're talking about. So
Yes, it's a continuation.
So it's a part 2.
Yes.
Oh, God,
Part
I
two.
can't
Anyway,
wait.
I'm gonna need
Sunfire, part 2.
I'm gonna need to
Can't
hear
wait.
part
But
1
well,
too.
the
Again,
cool part I
but-
can say is it's a one owner, 70,000 mile.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Okay.
So there's a part 2 to this.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Anyway.
Later.
Sorry, guys. Inside baseball stuff.
That color, that burnt orange
So
color
over-
that Pontiac did.
So over on 41.
Yes.
Over on 41, heading towards Hernando.
Mm-hmm.
Small used car lot.
Yeah.
So
Right
next to
inside.
the place that's got the big elephant sitting out front with glasses, there's like a mid '80s Pontiac Sunfire convertible in burnt orange tan gut tan
Really?
All
top.
right. At first, when I was driving up at
Really?
5:30 in the morning, I thought it was a Ferrari convertible, and I'm like, nope, that is a Sunfire. Holy shit!
I haven't stopped
First
and looked at. I haven't
generation.
stopped and looked at. It's literally a first gen Sunfire.
It has to be a 3-1.
Mom
I
had
think-
one of those.
I think it's a 3-1.
and it's. I have no idea.
It's perfect condition.
Bro, the
Hubcaps and
3.1,
everything.
the 3.1 V6 was a great motor.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, it
dude,
was such
this
a good
car.
motor.
This car looks like a one owner Survivor car that came out of a garage in Beverly Hills somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, original fucking 14-inch wire wheel hubcaps on it. It's
Yeah, like I said,
it's perfect.
Yeah, it's that kind of car.
You know the Richie's Garage right here.
That place has always got some interesting shit sitting in there.
The one right there on 41 by.
Yep.
Well, you got the 4-door Bel Air. that's
Well,
been in
but
there
we
every once in a while.
we'll see. I was down this way.
I'm always seeing like 60 Chevy pickups
Yeah.
in there, different ones too.
Well, I was down this way last week. I was helping my sister-in-law, and then I went to Publix to grab something for dinner,
As one does.
and I drove past.
Did you happen to get Publix fried chicken?
No, I was getting some salmon to cook.
Oh, that's cool too. Hey,
Yeah.
Publix fried chicken is an absolute vibe.
Drove past Richie's. Did a
Are you okay?
I usually do a double take when I drive by there because there's always something
triple,
interesting there.
painful triple take.
Okay.
Traffic's backing up, and I
Thought
was
you had
like,
a seizure.
whoa, it is what I thought it was. I didn't see it when I drove back past.
And that was.
A blue R34 with gold wheels, parked on looked like they pulled in and just parked on the side, right out front by where the pole is, and then maybe drove back out and left. But
Now, someone did tell me they saw a blue 32 around Inverness. So you're saying it was a
Are you
34?
this is definitely a 34. Well, it had
Are you sure?
the circular taillights. I didn't catch the front end, so maybe
Say 30.
Well,
Okay.
it had the 34
Okay,
taillights.
Hold on. 32. All right. Circular taillights like this, or circular taillights like this?
so you saw
had the
Blue
broad-
Impala.
Were they?
It
Like,
had
I'm saying, were they like this, or were they like that?
No, they were canted. It had the broad. It had the broad shoulders in the back.
Okay,
and-
so the outside light was higher than the inside light.
yeah.
34.
It looked like a 34.
Okay, that would be
he
34.
He saw a 2004 Chevy Impala.
But it didn't have a wing on it.
He
But-
saw a 2004 Chevy Impala.
It was blue, and I saw gold wheels, and
You
How
saw
many, how many
2000
doors did it have?
it was a two-door. It was a two-door.
Not Impala then.
So he saw
No,
Bonneville.
it was definitely. I
He
know
saw
shit,
Bonneville.
it was definitely a Skyline, and then when I drove back past, it was gone. But,
Yeah, I really thought I saw an FD,
Okay,
but it
here's-
turned out to be a Jelly Bean fucking Taurus. Okay, like
Okay, so
I thought I
here's-
saw an NSX. It turned out to be a fucking Accord coupe.
now
the
this.
Accords have
So
stapler
here's
brake
now
lights
here's the
now.
thing. Now I've seen R34s here years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, no, I saw one in Ocala when Cars and Coffee.
that was a
did
30.
Tom-
That was a 33.
No, the Tommy Kiera.
Ah, okay, that
34,
okay now.
and that fell underneath the.
That was a show and display
the
car.
show and display.
That was a show and display car.
Because you fought me so much, and me and Damien are like, nope, here's a video of it.
I'm
Here's
like-
me touching it,
I'm
going
like,
like
alright.
this.
I think this one might have just been a rebodied, either 240 or R32, maybe.
Probably.
I don't think it was
It
an
was a
actual,
cute
but
car.
it
Well,
looked exactly
it was a
like
cute car.
one.
Okay, well the reason so, like I said,
God damn, we tangent so
no,
much, guys.
I've seen
Do we
a.
have
We're
anybody
still
even
talking
watching
about.
now?
We're talking about the
We've got two people
mid
watching.
2000s JDM cars.
Okay, so I've actually seen with my own eyeballs right here in this county a non-GTR R34.
Yeah, it was the four-door that...
No, it was a two-door.
I was going to say, the one that Orly had.
That was a two-door. One of
No,
them.
he had the white four-door.
He had a white two-door also.
Well,
'Cause
it's
he-
fucking Orly. I mean,
Because he had it up at the Cruisers thing, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
So, like I
And
said,
then,
but
S15. And
like I said, so a 34 that's not
I'm sorry.
the Evo 5.
not an ultra rare
Sounds
G.
absolutely rowdy.
Yeah, so like I said, 34s that aren't a low production GTR are not legal,
No.
and they don't fall under show and display.
News.
We still got a couple years.
Speaking of show and display and R34, did you all happen to
Yes.
see the
Yes.
Millennium Jade Pearl M-Spec NER that sold in Australia? $467,000
And
US.
it's so funny.
That was not 467 Australian dollars.
US.
467
American.
US dollars.
And it was so funny because the comments were just
I remember-
highlighted with people saying, like, you know, like the owner was saying he'll store it there and everything until it's legal to bring over. And, like, whoever bought that car probably is not going to see it for.
Unless,
3-4
okay, so
years.
two
Yeah.
things. So two things. Here's the thing. So it's sold on Bring a Trailer. If
Beautiful
that car,
car.
if that,
best color that they ever put on that.
so
fucking car.
it's like I said, it's not a V spec, it's an M spec. It's also a NER and Millennium Jade Pearl. Less than 100 of cars like that built falls under show and display.
And it had decent-ish
And
miles. Like,
got-
it was
it's
pretty
low.
driven.
It's pretty low miles,
It was low, but, like, still.
but
I think
driven.
like 50-ish, I think.
50-something thousand Ks. So
So like
28, 30,000,
yeah.
like 30,000 miles.
That means that car was enjoyed, though.
So it had Nismo GTLM 4 wheels.
Yep.
And had a bunch of Nismo parts that were installed, not when the car was new, but installed, you know,
Yeah.
Over the span of
the
time.
most legit aftermarket Nismo installation of parts you could do. This car had.
And the car was flawless.
Now I saw Haggerty had valued that car, saying that it was probably going to be close to the 7-figure mark. Obviously,
I'm surprised it
it felt way short of that, but I think being in Australia might have been part of that.
True.
Because if that car was already here in the U.S. under show and display,
Oh yeah, $1 million instantly.
that car would have gone a lot higher. Because we've already seen other show and display cars here in the U.S. sell on Bring a Trailer that were in the 300, the quarter to mid $300,000 range, but not a Millennium Jade Pearl car, which is arguably the rarest of them.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that car was going to go for a lot more than it did.
Yeah, I actually have a picture of that car set on as the wallpaper on my laptop right now. It displaced my my favorite little JDM Devil Z
I
car
remember
that I've had
using
up
it
there
in
for a
Gran
while.
Turismo 3. I love that car.
Were you there the night that? Yeah, I think you were. We were playing on his simulator, and with the VR, and Chris was like, "What car do you want?" I was like, "Just put me on a flat track," because Laguna Seca was not the best track to start off on.
Right.
So I was like, "Just put me on a flat track," and he's like, "What car do you want?" And I was like, "Surprise me," and then it popped up, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm in a 34 GTR." And when we were doing, reindeer games, messing with the pedals with each other, Mike tried to mess with the pedals on, and I just drove out of his fuckery.
Yes.
That was great.
And I also whipped U2's guys at Road Atlanta with 3 pedals with 1 foot.
I almost got a wheel and pedal set up recently, but I did not do it. The guy wanted to trade me computer parts, but he lived in St. Pete and didn't have a car and wanted me to meet him in St. Pete, and his Facebook picture looked like Jeffrey Dahmer.
You were like,
Hard pass.
relax.
I was like,
Just want to trade some computer parts.
I'm like, I don't want to. No. I'm like,
That sounds like a hard pass. That was probably a wise choice.
It was a hard pass. And then some other person offered me a wheel pedal setup, but it was a PlayStation 1, and it was only 2 pedals, and I was like, no.
Nah.
I mean,
No, stay away from the Thrustmaster T80.
That's what it was. I think
That's not even a force feedback wheel.
I know, and that's why I was like, no.
Those are
So-
like $60
so-
at Walmart.
so Logitech now has a direct drive wheel.
Yes.
That's what this guy had that he was going to trade me.
He wasn't trading you a
No,
direct
it was
drive
a direct
one.
drive. No, sorry.
It was the
G920. Sorry, yeah. I saw the Logitech.
That's what I originally had.
Yeah, which I would love to have had that, but
Well, like I said,
I wanna get a wheel pedal
like I
for
said,
that.
as someone here who doesn't really play video games, and with the issues that I have with the nerves and motor control and tactile feeling in this hand, I can't do a controller. Mm-hmm. Because 1, I can't really feel the buttons, and 2, if I'm keeping everything in one place for a long time, my hand just cramps up because I got nerve damage going on. So for me, a pedal and wheel setup, even the one you had, your gear-driven Logitech, I'm perfectly okay with that.
Right.
But I also know that after a little while of using it, if I did have a chance to sample the direct drive wheel, I would never go back.
And
And then it would just be like RC cars, and it just becomes a money dump.
Yes.
That was also not around in 2003.
no way. They have a new one.
I don't know.
I love Oyster City. I've had like almost every one of their beers. It's a Florida beer right here. I got ding. I'm going to get a gumball Appalachicola.
This one is. So when I went hunting for beer today, so I got to tell you, our beer list is well over 200 beers at this point. It's getting difficult. I have to load the beer list up on my phone before I go in the building.
I do too.
And so I'm every
Even
time
when I'm at Walmart, like just getting beer for myself, I do it.
like Walmart, Publix, ABC, or whenever I'm next to a Total Wine and Beer, so many times I pull up the list, go in, and I'm walking down, especially Total Wine because the selection is insane.
Oh yeah.
I'm going down the line, I'm
Okay,
like,
everybody got head. Okay.
and I'm like, haven't even finished this one yet. I'm going around, I'm like, this one looks good, but we've had it. And I do that about 5 or 6 times before I get a beer that we haven't had.
No, I love Oyster City beers. I've had every single one that they have. They're in Appalachicola,
Florida.
Florida.
So what we have here is Oyster City's Tate's Helles German-style lager. 5% alcohol by volume.
Smells like a German lager.
There's something about this particular piece of water here in Apalachicola. It was here before us. It'll be here once we're gone. Our center is here. Our community is here. And the beer we brew here is about knowing who you are at your most essential. It's about where you come from and who raised you and all the parts and pieces that made you. It's all about knowing yourself and your why and when, and with a little help from your fellow man and a beer or
It's
three.
pretty.
It is pretty, isn't it?
Make something
With all
great.
the bubbles. It is very
I have to
pretty.
show
I also
this.
want to say that with the guava cart, it's a 5%, where mango cart is, I think, only like.
How pretty that is, though.
Look.
Oh yeah, look
Is it
at
showing
look.
up on camera real good?
The stream is delayed.
There you go.
No, get closer to the camera.
Well, it's gonna be a little bit. So look at mine.
I know, yours too.
Well,
Okay.
I got the little.
I
extra.
poured
All
my.
right, so the
I
head
poured
is
my
the
normal.
head
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the head is,
Everybody has head,
so the head is not as thick as the guava cart was,
but there's a lot of it.
but there is a lot of it. It's lacing like crazy over there.
And it
It
is
is.
crystal clear.
It is.
Oh yeah, this is
I think this is going to be like an all-around good pub beer.
a beautiful color.
Just
For
already
us
off
to go
this
into
prediction.
2003.
Now
Nope.
I get a little bit of aroma out of this, but I
We're
think
just gonna have to shut his mic off.
that one had so much more. It's kind of affected my nostrils.
All right,
No,
boys.
no, there's not a lot of aroma going on here.
Let's get into it.
It smells like a good German wheat beer.
It smells like bread.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like beer.
Tastes like beer.
Oh, that's fantastic, though.
That is really
It
good.
tastes like good beer.
That's just good beer.
Oh,
Almost got like a little sourdough yeast thing
Yes.
going on the
thank you.
right through the middle of it.
You said bread, and then when I got that at the end, I was like, bread.
That's bread beer.
Bread.
That's what that is. That's bread beer. It's good.
I dig that.
That's fantastic. Ooh, you know, ooh.
Uh-oh, Chris.
Oh
is
yeah,
on.
there's the sourdough. There it is.
Did it just finally hit you?
Put that
Wait.
with just a classic, like, 3rd pound classic American bacon cheeseburger
With cheddar.
with cheddar,
Oh
hickory
yeah.
smoked bacon, and some crinkle cut fries, nice and fresh and crispy.
Shit, I could even have that with like a good freaking deli sub with just some thick bread. Hold on, what's that doing the tractor pull? Is that a rotary tractor?
No, that was the ATV.
But that's good right there. That's
Oh, you know what we didn't hear? The Rivian.
Did
So-
you see that video?
I did!
Okay.
I
Anyway,
did.
anyway,
Sorry.
2003, Nope Nationals. Can we please go back to everybody putting a body kit on cars?
just
Please.
just body kits
okay,
and
shut Brian's mic off because we don't want to hear about this.
just body kits and underglow
It was
and
amazing.
molded fiberglass
It was
enclosures
so
for
good.
subs and lights and
Fiberglass dashboards.
fiberglass dashboards.
Gauge clusters in the roof. Like
Yeah.
So we went from
it was mini.
if your
Mini
car,
truck and
if
JDM
your
car
car
collide.
looked stock, you sucked. To now where if your car doesn't look stock,
you
you
suck.
suck. Like No, like
This is why I let my car look like piece of shits.
it was
It's
one
perfect.
of those like where you had to have all this stuff, but it. So many people hated it, but that's what we grew up with. Like,
All right.
that's like,
Trucks were small and they had dancing beds.
and they were amazing. Or you had speakers or a hot tub in bed.
Right.
Well, from an outside perspective,
And that's gone on to evolve to rednecks with their squatted trucks and their outdoor security speakers blasting whatever shitty music they have in the cab out the
No,
back.
that doesn't.
Well, no. From an outside perspective, honestly, the amount of customization that was occurring, I think, is safe to say, sparked off the aftermarket market for all these different cars.
yeah.
There was a body kit for anything. There was a
was.
body kit for a Sunfire. There was a body kit for a Civic. There was a body kit for a Chevy Avalanche.
That was
I mean,
there was an article on Autopian that some warehouse had closed down,
That's what. Yeah.
and there was a giant ass
Oh,
auction
up in
sale
Canada,
of
up in
all
Canada,
of,
and they-
all
it
of
was-
these basically Altezza style taillights.
Ah,
And
yes.
body
there
kits
was
for
like
all
so
these-
many different cars that they had these things
I
for.
That's what
forgot,
I'm saying,
I
like,
forgot the name of it.
honestly,
but
it
was
sparked it
like,
off,
It
like-
was like the Pep Boys of Canada and all that. It was Speed something, but it was all their shit. That it sadly it closed. It was like a Canadian wide store, but like finally like they were doing a liquidation sale and all that, and it was all the stuff that was stuck on the back shelves, and it was literally everything from 2001 to 2003. And it was glory.
Here's the best thing about that. What was that
my
brand?
God.
I can't think of the name of that brand because they showed a couple of the boxes, and I can't remember the name of the brand off the top of
I
my
don't
head
know.
now.
Yeah.
But they sold those at Walmart.
Yeah, they sold those everywhere.
One of the
If
most
you had a
You could
Civic,
you could not open up not just
They,
like
they were called
not
like
just like a
Eurolights
custom-
or something
Yep.
like that.
Eurolights. They called
And
them
they had Spider,
Eurolights.
too, with
They
Y.
basically they took the Toyota Altezza IS300
and
lights.
that's where they came
then-
And
they
cloned
just-
it
they
onto
just-
everything.
they
But,
ripped
but
that-
that's how
they-
that name Altezza lights came from.
Yeah,
It
but
was
the thing was,
literally
but-
it was a Toyota
No red yet
Altezza.
reflected.
But on the box, they didn't say Altezza lights. They said Eurolights because if they would have said Altezza lights, Toyota would have
Copyright.
sued the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
You mean
But-
Ford Probes in the late '90s with the Euro style taillights with the clear and
Yeah, and there was nothing Euro about those lights.
Mustangs.
Yeah,
But
they were Toyota Altezza IS200, IS300 lights.
I think it's safe to say though that like that era was one of the pinnacle times for the spark into aftermarket modifications for your regular
Yeah,
everyday Joe
you couldn't
car.
open up any car magazine, not like a car customizing magazine. You could not open up any car magazine at the time without seeing page after page after page of ads for Euro-style taillights, body kit spoilers,
and honestly, we had some out of this world
Stereos,
stuff at that time
neon
too.
underglow,
We had the
crappy
Prowler
ass, like
lurking
absolute
around and
crappy
stuff,
ass looking
and
wheels, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, there was just
Pontiac Aztecs with body kits.
But that's the body kit thing. You could get body
But
kits
see,
and taillights.
so-
so many
But
different.
that-
colors.
I actually have a
also-
question.
that
I wanna
also
know
is
something.
One of those that
Sometimes it was
Right.
easier to get aftermarket taillights for a car than OEM taillights
Yeah.
for a car.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my question, because this was a big fad in my town, and I want to know if this was in other places or not. Now, do you remember
Oh boy.
the like neon light tubes that
Yes.
were like 10 inches
Yeah.
long?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
went along with the base. They hooked
Yes.
into your cigarette lighter. We had
Yeah.
one
So,
in my mom's 2001 Sebring.
Where was it though?
I put it in the very back on by the rear brake.
On the parcel shelf.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that was an everywhere thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the fad, was
Yep.
you put that light up on the parcel shelf
Yeah.
so that it was flashing with the bass,
Yep.
so everybody knew you were in there bumping big
Yeah.
speakers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at the same time,
The
you
light up
also
speaker
had
boxes that did the
no,
same
you
thing.
also had to light up valve stem fucking covers.
Yep.
And
We
then
still see
also,
people with keys. that have
Also,
those.
the windshield washer.
The
jets.
nozzles. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see now that,
LED
now that
exhaust
did
tips.
evolve a little
No,
bit.
no,
'cause-
no, LED. LED.
Oh no, they weren't LED at the
They were
time.
9-volt battery powered shit.
Exhaust tips.
But no, the windshield washer nozzles. $25 at AutoZone. You put them in. They
Or
never
the wiper
fucking-
blade covers.
Yes, with the fucking
The
diffusers on
chrome
them.
dual wiper blades.
With the fucking diffusers
Now here's the
on
thing.
them.
Now here's the thing. So you guys think that the dual wiper blades with little fins that cripple the wiper arms were all your your Nopi Nationals kind of stuff? Nah,
No,
no.
it was fucking Mercedes and BMW. And all
No,
that shit.
no. I'm talking about the aftermarket ones.
Yeah.
You're talking about seeing, the double blade windshield wipers, and you had the snap-on fins that went on your wiper arms to keep them glued down when you're going fast. We had those in the early 90s, late 80s and early 90s, except ours weren't chrome. Ours were neon green, neon yellow, neon pink, neon blue, and occasionally you would find them in black. But for the most part, they were neon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, by the way, the little thing that snapped onto your wiper arm with the 3 little fins, it just made your wiper arm suck when you were going fast.
Yeah.
Because they would go,
Yes.
and barely come back down. I know this because, I had them too.
And hold on, the pinnacle of 2003 car culture, the spinning rim hubcap.
Budget bling.
Yes.
Not a
Budget-
wheel.
No, I know. Hubcap.
The hubcap
Budget
was a
bling.
spinner.
Budget bling. I actually so one time I saw a Scion toaster that had spinner hubcaps, and I just looked at it, I was like, it just cracked me up.
But it was one of those. That time was amazing. It really was. Love it or hate it. A lot of people hate it. I absolutely love it. Because
Well, it amazes me because that was happening at the time that you saw right before you saw the prototype come out for the S197 Mustang. It was happening at the time you saw the first concept of the 350Z come out, and when the 350Z debuted.
Well, it was one of those you had to during all that stuff. You also had the renaissance of power. You had the renaissance of the muscle car back because 03 you had the Terminator Mustang debut. You had the Camaro and Trans Am disappear.
Yeah. Continue.
But well, no, they don't. Anyway,
Not for a few years.
But no, especially Pontiac. That was the last time you saw it. Well, 02 was the last time you saw a Trans Am.
Yeah.
But still,
But they
it
sent
was,
that thing out with a bang.
They did, because goddamn, I really want a WS6. Anyway.
We all do.
Oh, except Brian, because he did T-tops are the work of the devil for him.
T-tops are the
but-
work of the devil, but I might rock a WS6.
Oh, you give me a blue WS6 with T-tops and fucking black leather interior with the
If-
6-speed manual. Oh,
I'm sorry, I disagree
would have
with
to
you
have
there.
the- I
There's-
You're talking about the
Only
limited edition one, the
No.
yellow.
No. There is only one color
Thank you.
for
Please say it.
a WS6, and that is red.
Thank you,
No,
Chris. So,
no,
yes.
I don't like red.
A
I don't
red
like
I don't
WS6
like red that much either,
with the
but
chrome wheels.
there is only one
say
color
AC.
for a Trans Am
no,
WS6, and that is
blue.
red.
That
No,
blue.
that color is
Thank
black.
you, Chris.
No,
No.
it's
The
color
red.
is black.
It's red.
However,
Red.
if
See,
you
no,
if-
I will go with black. But
There's
otherwise,
nothing like one of those red
otherwise,
WS6
no,
fibers,
no,
that
no,
snout and the
Hey,
pop-ups.
No, that special edition, the final year, that yellow with the on the side.
Nope. That doesn't
That's a
do it for
good
me.
color. I'm not disagreeing
me
with
think
you
it's a
there.
sun
That
pack.
was a great color, but red is the only
No,
correct
no,
answer.
No,
But that
no.
for me, that generation Firebird, the ultimate, because Pontiac was the master of taking something that Chevy made and
They're
throwing a
making
bunch
it cooler.
and throwing a bunch of plastic cladding on it to make it a Pontiac. So for me,
Which
the
is why
ultimate.
I don't like the regular Camaro because
So-
it's just and
So
then you
for
get
me,
F-body,
the
you're like,
ultimate, the ultimate expression of Pontiac doing the Firebird was the white with the blue stripes with the anodized blue wheels.
Oh well, that
Oh,
was,
the
that was
fucking,
1995.
I don't care.
Is it the pace car?
That was
I don't- like I said,
1995 pace car.
I don't
Yep.
care if it was like 1995.
Dude,
and not,
those anodized blue wheels though, and the blue those seats, the blue seats.
Ah, so good.
Yeah,
like I
it
said,
was,
so I mean, if
though.
we're going to talk about colors on that generation Firebird, really, that's the car.
You know,
I mean,
But for
Ferrari
WS6s
copied
for
the
me,
blue Daytona seats from the Firebird.
yeah. But for like I said, for me on a WS6, got to be black. double. It's got to be a double black car.
Still red.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion, and that's fine. I'm
I
just saying that red is the only correct
I've got
answer.
to see a doctor about that.
But see, okay, so 2003, you had that argument going on, and also bye because you didn't have any of those things
It
going
was a
on again.
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
You
you
just
didn't have
did.
any of those things going on again. But then you had the Terminator coming in. Then also you had the SRT4 coming in. And
You had
finally-
you had the Marauder, you had the Mach 1,
but
you
but-
still had the Ford Lightning,
but you
the
also
supercharged Lightnings.
You also
We had
had
the
the
three.
SRT4 coming in. You had Evo finally coming in. You had all these things starting to, and it was that horrible year change when they finally did the Eclipse, and you're like, the 3Gs.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk. Well, they're better than the 4Gs, but still, I'd rather talk about the 3Gs than the 4G.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
But still, it was one of those when all that's going on.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we were also kind of tail end of the bubble era. The Japanese bubble era was about to
We were
go
starting
bang
to
in
have
a
sharper
big
body
way.
lines.
There was so many.
Well, no, when I say
things
the
going
bubble
on.
era, I'm talking about all the bubble era cars when
Yeah.
Japan's economy was absolutely rocking and rolling, and you saw all these manufacturers come out with the 300ZX with twin turbos and Hikis, and you had Evos, and you had 3000 GTs and NSXs, and you had all of these crazy ass cars.
Cavalier and Taurus.
But you had all of these crazy. Taurus gets some undeserved hate. No.
Wagons are.
I can get to that. But you had, when I say Japanese bubble era, it's because their economy was absolutely rocking and rolling. But what it was a market bubble that was getting ready to bust.
Right.
So all these Japanese manufacturers are absolutely just flush with cash and pulling in money hand over fist. And that's why they didn't just build K cars, they built FTOs and Honda Beats and all of these rad,
they're wonderful
these
things.
absolutely rad little cars, and Skylines and Supras and Soarers and all of those crazy ass cars that we all want now were all during the
02
bubble
was the
era.
last year of the RX,
But
7 too.
that sort of the lost decade in Japan, but it was like kind of right at the tail end of the bubble era, and then it went boom, and then all of those cars went away. The FDs went away. The NSX went away.
The Super.
300ZX went
Every
away.
single car that miraculously
The Sky-
only made
Except the
276
Skyline.
The
Except
horsepower.
the
GTRs went away.
The last year's.
We were
Skyline
not
was
going
what,
to talk
no,
about
not-
the Infinity G35
Not
Skyline.
Skylines. Skylines
Well,
continued.
yeah, no, but
GTRs
GTR.
went away.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was what 02, right?
GTRs went away in 02 or 03 and didn't pop back up until 09.
Yep. Because that's, like I said, that's the Infinity G35 days of the Skyline.
Skyline 3500 GT.
But
Ugh.
fucking BGs. But if you realize, but that was also like 03 was the year of the muscle car starting
To come back.
finally come back. You had
And honestly, that's
you had
right around the time after that was when the JDM people started doing hot hatches right after that.
Yeah.
Well,
More
you
hot
had
hatches.
the Terminator come in. You had the Mach 1,
The Marauder.
the Marauder, but with
and
that, then
leading-
also
but-
you had the old school styling. That's when you had the O2 was when the T-Bird came in with that stuff, and then it came into when Chevy's like, oh hey, we totally discontinued all this stuff, and it came back in 09, but it started with that, and then that's when it was the S187 and like power
Started coming back. But yeah, it was a almost like a little bit of a weird time for the auto industry, for what was going out, what was coming back in, and then you compare that to what the aftermarket was doing at the time, and it was just kind of a weird thing to
You
kind of
had
watch
the
all of it.
Saline Focuses. You had Roush Focuses. There was Steeda Focuses. Like
Yeah,
you
Focus
had,
is coming with freaking nitrous from the factory.
that was the Roush one.
I know.
Yeah, like all that. But it was one of the, like, it was weird because finally, like, you started to have those 4-cylinder cars, factory performance cars, starting to pop in. Like you had the ACR neons, like with like the 95 and 96s, like the 2 doors and 4 doors and that. But then you had like the XRT4, and it's like
You had the Mazda Speed Miata around
you
that
had
time.
the Mazda Speed Miata.
Mazda Speed Pro Edition.
You had the Mazda Speed 6.
No.
That-
What was
that
that like
was
02, 03?
Yeah, that
06.
was 06.
06?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole time.
I forgot those were that late. I thought you'd have those in like 03 or 04.
The only thing you can get Mazda speed then would be the Miata or the Protege, which the Protege is not. That's
Yeah. But
We
still,
don't talk
you
about
had
that
you
car.
had those things starting. And also, 03 was the start of SRT.
yeah.
That was
Yep.
the start of SRT, and what also happened, you had, the Viper, but then you also had the single cab, short bed, Viper powered fucking SRT10 Ram.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
With the stick.
with the stick, and then also the...
Big old stick. It's like up here.
Yeah. Well, because 03 and 04 were the only years you could get the stick in. After that, it was the quad cab. Well, not quad cab. Crew cab with an automatic. But yeah, no, you had all that. Then you had the Chevy SS Silverado. That was not an LS. It was the L4Q whatever with the shitty all-wheel drive.
You also had the
Trailblazer SS
the crazy
started.
underlooked Avalanche. The
Yep.
Avalanche 2500 with the 8.1 liter
Yep,
Vortec.
with the 455.
Yep.
But no, that was also the first year that you got a Chevy Trailblazer SS.
Yep.
All-wheel drive.
The 6 liter.
Yep.
It was also when Pratt & Miller, I just looked this up to make sure I have my years right, that was also when Pratt & Miller started taking the C5 Z06 and turning it into the C5R and kicking ass all over the world with it in Petit Le
Yep.
Mans and in World Endurance and taking class victories at Le Mans with those cars. So
You had the Lingenfelter Corvette, the fucking gold one.
Oh my God, the
That thing
Lingenfelter.
was,
Huh.
I'm not a Corvette person, but god damn.
that was I think that was about the time that Motor Trend had like a big challenge to like
Yep.
all the aftermarket car builders to, hey, build a car and come out and do this big competition test to see like
Top
tuners.
Secret Supra.
And the V12 with the 1UZ.
Uh,
Yes, Sonny Nagata. Yes, when Nagata built that
I think
car, he
I
used
think
the,
I have that Motor Trend magazine. As a matter
But
of
so
fact.
Lingenfelter, all of the other people were coming out with like Mustangs and Camaros and Corvettes and this and that. Lingenfelter came out with an S10. That was twin turboed and all-wheel drive. It was like an updated version of the Cyclone.
Yep.
And in a straight line, it just kicked the shit out of everybody. But then it was, because
It's an
GM
S10. It doesn't turn.
but also because GM, more, not off-road, but more, passenger car or passenger truck style all-wheel drive system didn't last.
Yeah.
It ended up breaking because twin turbos.
Do we have any comments?
Old School said, "What about the Banshee Trans Am?" Back when we were talking about
yeah.
Trans
Oh
Ams.
yeah, the SLPs.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about the SLPs doing all their stuff.
I was gonna say though, do you guys want to bring a trailer or no? It's
Well, it's 9 o'clock. We got a few more minutes.
Yeah, we can.
That's the sad thing that I wanted to actually touch on that because I know at the time Pontiac was still vibrant and alive.
Miss Pontiac.
But
I really do.
I don't think a lot of people understand what we lost when we lost Pontiac.
no,
We
they
lost,
really don't.
We
You're
lost
right.
the fun part of GM.
No, it's not even that. We don't. That people don't talk. They don't like. A lot of people don't know what the future plans for Pontiac were when they were shuttered.
Pontiac was already bringing Holdens over.
Yes.
Well,
As the
I think-
GTO and the G8, and one of the things they were getting ready to bring over
was
they were bringing over the Commodore Ute
Yes.
as
And
the
they were-
G8 ST.
So the plan
I'm
going
still
forward,
salty over that because I really want one.
So the plan going forward for Pontiac before GM decided to axe them was Pontiac was going to become GM's excitement division. All of their cars were going to be rear-wheel drive.
No, hold on.
That would be fantastic.
With that being the excitement division, Pontiac was always GM's excitement division.
But the idea was they were going to go back to that idea that GM was going to be divided into different companies in the sense of what those companies provided because they lost that.
Yeah.
Because in the 90s and into the early 2000s...
It was all plastic cladding at Pontiac.
Right.
That's what it was.
And the idea
Saturn
was...
and Pontiac were like getting.
Pontiac was
the
going to
same.
come back to being the
What it was.
The
excitement
performance.
division.
It was going to be the performance division.
Correct.
The Hellcats.
It was basically going to
essentially.
be...
the SRT.
It was basically going to be Corvette, and then everything that wasn't Corvette was going to be under the Pontiac banner.
yeah.
Right.
Which is what it was.
Because
Like,
that's
yeah,
what the
all
whole
that
thing
stuff.
with the Solstice was. The Solstice was the
Yep.
beginning.
Which was a great
of-
car.
Yeah, that was
really
an Opel.
was
That
a
car
great
came from
car.
Europe. That
yes,
was an
that was
Opel.
the Opel GT
Yeah.
chassis.
But
Yep.
the sad thing is, though, if I see a Saturn and a Solstice next to one another, I like the Saturn Sky better.
I
Right.
do.
And the Saturn Sky was almost, they literally just took the European Opel car and just threw badges on it.
Well,
Right.
yeah, it was just like the
then
Saturn
you gotta get-
Astra. It was
Yeah.
literally the Opel Astra.
Yeah.
But and not for nothing, those cars fit the LS in them very well.
Oh, yeah.
And
LS7.
if they
Yeah,
had came
we've
out
seen
with
them.
an LS version
no,
of
no,
them,
no. At Cruisers, there's a
with the black
years
one,
ago.
Yeah, there was
the old guy. Yeah, I
there was a
know.
guy
I met
that
him
had
before.
that LS7.
It's a manual one.
Yeah, that thing was
It's one of
rowdy.
it's one of like 108 manuals that exists.
Yeah, that thing
Yeah.
was
And
just
that's why-
freaking
But it was
rowdy
a-
and cool as
an
hell.
LS
I saw the
I-
brakes on it. That's when I was like,
Wait, what?
"Yep." And then he was walking out of Winn-Dixie when I was walking in, and I saw him go to the car, and I like turned around. And I was like, "Hey,
Yep, has a
what's
LS7
going on with those
four-
brakes, man?"
A 427 fucking
Yep.
shoved into
He
a.
popped
yeah.
open the hood and showed
Well,
me.
see, here's the thing about
6-speed
Pontiac.
manual.
See, even back like in the '60s, like Pontiac went from just building, reliable sort of
Just started.
stodgy.
muscle car
Like I
thing.
said, even way back in the day, Pontiacs were just kind of stodgy. They were like a step up above a Chevrolet, on the same same level as like a Buick, or maybe not
Yeah.
quite as luxurious as a Buick.
No, but they
or
were in
an
between.
Oldsmobile.
And I feel
But
like
they
they
were
went
above Chevy.
They
So-
went the other way in the end, which
No.
sucks. I
No.
feel like.
I'm saying when they kind of started out.
Yeah.
But then at one point, when Jim Wangers was in charge during the '60s, like I said, the GTO. So with
And
Jim
that's-
Wangers
the
doing
GTO is
marketing,
what
so you
started
had
the muscle
John
car.
Z. DeLorean, that DeLorean, running Pontiac division, and you had Jim Wangers doing all the marketing. And at the time, there was a rule that you could not put an engine larger than, say, 350 cubic inches in a mid-sized car, which is what the Tempest was.
Right.
Well, DeLorean wanted to build a full-on. He wanted to kind of really call it a muscle car, but he wanted to build a performance car because
There was only two cars with independent rear suspension at the time. It was a Chevy Corvette, which you can't confuse with a Tempest, and then a Tempest.
yeah. Next thing you know, Mike's biological clock will be going like this.
Right.
I was picking up what you're putting down, buddy. So, but like I said, so you had John DeLorean. He was always played fast and loose with sort of the rules inside of GM corporate culture. And you had Jim Wangers, who was a marketing genius, and they came up with the idea of throwing big engine to mid-sized car.
Mm-hmm.
So they threw a 389 with a tri-power into the Tempest. And somehow got GM approval for it and called it the GTO, which they were basically poking
It
fun
was
at
a
Ferrari.
package.
They were
Yeah.
they were poking fun at Ferrari for that, but that was really like a legit muscle car. Like when the muscle car that kind of came out as that.
Started it in
But
1964.
that was at a time when Pontiac was the one division in General Motors that could throw a Jolly Roger flag over the top of their headquarters as a giant middle finger to every other part of General Motors.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones that could do that. So for me, watching Pontiac go from that to the 90s and into the 2000s is basically Chevrolet cars with different badges and lots of plastic cladding. It was sad to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
So
it.
in one respect, I was kind of glad to see him go because I didn't want to see him go any further down that route.
Yeah,
but
no,
they
that's
did bring
fair.
us. They started importing the Holdens.
Right.
The Monaro and the Commodore over here,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, these are freaking cool. I like those cars. But
there was so much potential in fucking Pontiac.
there
And
was still there was
that
still
was the
potential.
whole plan
But-
until they got the axe.
But that was also leading into the Great Recession,
right.
and then
if that didn't happen, like imagine if that didn't happen.
Here's the thing,
like
honestly-
what could we have had car-wise?
Okay, here's the thing. Honestly, it would have happened anyway. The bankruptcy would have happened anyway, because that's just GM as a whole was going down that path. It just accelerated it. But at the time, you had running GM. You had a guy named Rick Wagner, who I think it was a website called the Auto Extremist, nicknamed him just the Rick. And you had a guy named running Dodge and Chrysler that was by the name of Bob Nardelli, an ex-Home Depot guy. Now, you guys know who Maximum Bob was? Bob Lutz?
Yeah.
Like GM's performance guru?
Yep.
He was known as Maximum Bob. Bob Nardelli, again, the guy running the website Auto Extremist at the time, he nicknamed him Minimum Bob. which I thought was funny as hell. And then you had Alan Mulally at Ford. And during the Great Recession, you had all the Congress critters. And this is also the time of the auto bailouts and everything else because of that whole Great Recession. Basically, it was a market crash. So you had Minimum Bob, the Rick, and Alan Mulally up there testifying in front of Congress. And a few things happened. In order part of the restructuring, GM had to get rid of underperforming brands. Pontiac was one of those brands. Buick or Oldsmobile was another one. That was also Saturn went away. And
Which
then
was sad, because Saturn was ahead of its time. Saturn was ahead of its time.
Saturn was actually pretty cool. Their cars weren't particularly exciting.
But
the people who went and bought
Yes.
Saturns at their dealer experience fucking loved them, and they were loyal.
Loved them.
And then also they jettisoned Saab, and Saab ended up just
And
dying.
it was kind of like the same thing, like Saab people or Saab people.
Yeah,
Saturn
so
people,
Saab went
Saturn
away.
people.
But there's a few things that happened also that were, if you were paying attention behind the scenes, which I think this was a time when you guys really weren't of an age where you're paying that close of attention. One of the divisions that GM had to get rid of was their air fleet, was their air charter service. And that was because all the Congress critters were going off and saying, hey, you guys are flying private jets around because apparently private jets are fucking evil. One thing about General Motors air service, that was profitable. Because they didn't just use that to ferry their, for the CEO to take a trip, do whatever he was doing for CEO things. It was actually a charter air service that people paid to use, and it was profitable. So it was all of that stuff. It wasn't just GM saying, we don't like Pontiac anymore. There was so much stuff going on.
Oh, I know.
During that time. And that's just Pontiac was a victim of that sort of thing. And my favorite part from all of those hearings was towards the end of it, after the Congress critters got to make all their grandstanding, speeches in front of the cameras on C-SPAN and all that shit. They asked all the CEOs, they're like, hey, since we're bailing you out, will you work for $1 a year until your companies are solvent? And of course, the Rick and Minimum Bob had to say, yes, we will. And Alan Mulally was like, I'm good. And the Congress critters like, yeah, but you made like $13 million last year. He's like, yeah, no, I'm good. We're fine. That to me was like my favorite moment. But yeah, like a lot of the stuff that happened with GM and Pontiac was because of sort of outside forces just accelerating things that were already happening.
Yes.
It was just a shitty time all the way around.
It sucks with that.
And like I said, the fact that happened before Pontiac could bring the Holden Ute over here, I'm a little salty about that.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get the Holden Ute. We were supposed to get a version of the Monaro
The HSV.
HSV.
Both. We were supposed to get an Basically, essentially, we were going to get what in Australia was the HSV, which was kind of like, say Chevy Performance,
Superceline.
or like a Cadillac V.
Yeah.
Like
it was
like
that.
Cadillac V.
Yeah.
Basically that. Or, Ford had their SVT stuff. Holden had their HSV, their Holden special vehicles. And so we were going to get HSV versions of the GTO and the G8, as well as the Ute. And we didn't get them.
Yep.
Still salty about the Ute.
We were supposed to get the Bathurst edition, but just
Exactly.
called something different.
Yeah, basically.
I wanted that. I would want one right now.
I still want one.
Okay,
I
here's the
still
thing.
want one.
I want an FG or an FGX Falcon Ute, but god damn it, I gotta wait another 15 years before those things are legal.
Yep.
And I would be more than happy to have a Maloo or the Commodore Ute. And if Pontiac had just another year and a half, god damn it, I'd be able to get one.
Right.
But I can't. And I'm still salty. So,
Well, let's go into our Bringer trailer.
Alrighty.
and once again, it's not Bring a Trailer.
Oh,
I went Cars and Bids this time.
So the text will be wrong because the Bat car is not right. It's the
Cars and Bids.
Cars and Bids car is right.
Yes.
So
okay,
here
this
we
is full
go.
of quirks and features.
And really quick, so
Perfect.
First
spot.
picture.
The rust spot is the first
it's a
picture.
240.
All right, quirks and features. Daniel wants to say something about a car one of my friends bought a long time ago. He got a 1989 240SX with the heads-up display, cream on top with a dark gray on the bottom, automatic, exactly like this car.
What was that?
He picked up this car for about $1,000. It had a blown head gasket, and at the time he had
That was just a KA24DE.
correct. At the time he had a 1JZ.
Wait a minute, 1989 was that a twin cam or is that just a
It
single?
was a single. It was
so
a single.
it's a single jingle like
Yeah.
the D21s.
Yep. So he had a 1JZ and a 5-speed transmission. I think it's like the W51 or something like that. Because I was helping him put it in a Lexus, but we were having wiring problems, and he ended up getting a good price for the Lexus shell and everything, and bought this exact car.
I remember this.
And I helped him slap this 1JZ with this 5-speed transmission in this car with a bigger turbo. And it looked exactly like this with the hubcap steel wheels and everything with a 400 horsepower 1JZ.
I remember you showing me videos of this guy just absolutely smoking the tires.
And it looked exactly like
So,
that.
Thing that has to be said about
it's
this
a
car.
shark nose.
This
It's a
pig
pig
nose.
nose.
is
It's a pig
Keisuke's
nose.
car.
Yes.
This is
But no,
this is Keisuke's exact car.
But was that a pig nose or was that a shark nose?
It was
a
this
pig,
car
it was
right
a pig
here.
nose.
Pig nose?
It was a pig nose.
If you don't understand what I'm talking about, Keisuke from Initial D drove this exact same type of car.
Just a 180 SX.
But it was called a
Keisuke or
180.
Keiuski?
Huh?
I thought the S was further back. I thought it was Keiuski.
It might be.
I don't know.
It's been a
Like I said,
long
it's been a
time
while
since
I've
I've
seen
watched
it.
that show.
It's been as long time since I've seen the whole series.
I
but
thought it was Keisuke, but it might have been a Keisuke.
Maybe it's Kate.
So
Anyway.
what I found today, as soon as I
But
saw this one, I
what a
didn't even look any further. I was just
beautiful
like,
gem,
this is the
though.
one. So what we have here is a 1989 Nissan 240SX SE, unmodified. It's got the factory heads-up display, has 103,000 miles. This is a one-owner car.
Oh,
Nice, that's awesome.
Oh, you just added $20,000.
This is
the fucking
located in Hudson, New Hampshire. So this 1989 240 SXE finished in creamy yellow with dark gray and gray interior. 15-inch steel wheels, plastic hubcaps, pop-up headlights, cloth seats, air conditioning, heads-up display, and cruise control. No modifications. Nothing else. It's got digital speedometer, power mirrors, air conditioning, cassette player, heads-up display, cruise control. The attached Carfax
That
history
looks
notes
like
that
the only spot with rust, though.
notes that this 240 sustained unspecified damage to the rear end in an accident with another vehicle in 2012.
Okay.
But honestly, like I said, you don't know if that was
But
like.
it's still a 240.
But you know, like I said,
the
you don't know
heads-up
if that was
display.
smacked in the ass or if that was just it needed a bumper cover. You just don't know.
It's an auto 240. It probably was smacked in the ass.
It shows says a 2011 date code on the driver's side front tire, so obviously it needs tires. It's got some scratches, got a little fading and peeling exterior decals.
I have, like, 7
Wear
numbers
on the
in
driver's
there.
seat, which one of the pictures in there shows the wear on the seat bolster. Driver's seat, turn signal stock, and door panels. Worn bushings in the front suspension.
Tax is gonna be on there.
Oh, I was gonna say that's the thing.
And
you gotta
obviously,
remember,
like I said,
240 tax
obviously
and
there's
fanboy bullshit.
Chris, no
Look at the
cheating on
stripages.
your phone.
I'm looking at it's Ikatani, by the way, not
Okay.
Keisuke.
Look at the stripages.
And it
So-
was a pig nose, not an arrow nose.
So anyway, service records shown in the gallery, entries are
No, that's a
attached.
pig nose.
Carfax history report.
Oh,
Recent-
well, no, she had a pig nose hatch. That's a pig nose coupe.
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
I remember now. That's why it looks different.
Wait a minute, are you talking about the chick from Initial D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Salady.
Yeah, that was a
It was a
Salady.
sil-
Yeah, that was a Salady.
That was Impact Blue.
Yeah, that was blue.
was
That was the
blue.
blue one.
I was,
This
I was
was-
wondering what y'all were going at. I'm like, okay.
No,
like-
she's later in the show. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
This
remembering.
was
I remember
remember
now.
the S13Ks.
Yes. I remember now. Okay.
So anyway, it shows that it
Oh,
had.
you're talking about the 5th stage. Okay.
Yeah. So
There
anyway,
you
it
go.
does show that
No,
it
third
had.
stage.
3rd stage?
At one
Yeah,
point,
it's
it got
fine.
new brake
It's-
pads, an AC compressor,
I'll have to
and
start
brake light
watching
bulbs
Initial D
replaced.
again.
And an invoice from 2004 shows that the
Yeah,
engine
sure.
was replaced at 65,000 miles.
What?
Sway bar links, battery, and overdrive switch were replaced about 150 miles ago.
Yeah,
and
Brian, apparently there was something in the background.
what did we find?
There was a 4x4 K-van in the back.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, just checking.
We found something cool. in the
I
background.
have a price.
Yeah, so like I said, so
I,
it does say the selling dealer purchased this 240SX in 2022, reportedly from its original owner.
I don't know how much
Oh, it's a dealer,
240 tax
It's-
is going to be.
well,
It's-
So,
It's-
and like,
it's
like I said, here's the thing: the fact that this is on Cars and Bids,
That reduces
this
price.
this takes the bring a trailer tax out of it.
I know.
However,
it's still 240 tax.
it's an unmodified 240,
and it's at a dealer.
so So you have to
That
configure
can
in.
go between 8,000 and 80,000.
So like I said,
I don't know what to do.
So like I said, so it is an automatic, and it does have rust on the shock tower,
Every
What
single
is on-
fucking 240 has that.
but it's unmodified. It hasn't been turned into a drift missile.
I
It
really
has a
think
heads-up
that, I
display.
really
mean-
think they came off the assembly line with rust on the shock tower.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I said, so I mean, I looked at this one and I looked at the price and I'm like, I want to see how close these guys can get to it because,
Fuck.
like I said, it's not on Bring a Trailer, so the Bring
I
a
know,
Trailer
Brian,
tax is gone.
You're
102,000 miles.
You are hurting my brain with this.
Let's be real, that doesn't take much for me to do.
Yeah,
$8,700. 8,700.
8,700.
I don't think that was too low. Like I was around there, but then I'm also like, do I
It is
go,
a
like,
stupid clean car though.
25?
Like, to be honest, even with that strut tower rust, very, very, very clean example.
That's not a difficult repair to do either.
No, where it is, that is not at all. That's easy.
So yeah,
fix.
like I said, so I saw this car and I started reading the description about it, and I was like, holy shit, I found a unicorn.
It is a unicorn. It's beautiful too.
I'm kind of interested to see how these guys
Yeah,
see where
8,700.
these guys are at on it.
That's where is I'm at.
By the way, this auction just ended yesterday, so
I'm waiting for that picture to come back around. I want to see what was in the background. There was some sort of 4x4 small Japanese vehicle in the back. Mike, I'm waiting on you.
11-2.
not gonna lie, small Japanese 4-wheel drive vehicle. I do
Right
want-
there.
I
See?
do want a
Yeah.
K truck.
Look at that. Look,
Oh,
look, look, look,
that's
look,
a
look.
Mitsubishi.
Yeah,
Yep.
Minimax.
Yeah,
something like
so
that.
I'm gonna go 11-2, and I'm seriously like that hurts me because I could go lower than Dan, but I could also go like 28.
I think it went way higher.
And that's like I don't like.
I'm gonna
trying to
say
factor
so.
into 240
I want to
fucking
say
price.
S13. It went for 13K, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say 15,000.
And you might be right, Chris. Like
I think
seriously,
it might
you
have gone
be.
even higher
Yeah,
than
it-
that because of how clean it is.
To be
the
honest-
fact that it's completely unmodified. It's an S13.
To be honest, I could see a 25,000.
If I had unlimited funds, I would just throw whatever amount it took to get that car because it's a unicorn. How many
Yeah,
more
no,
of those are
it's-
left?
No,
And
can't be a
that's,
lot.
What, that's like-
that's
That's-
my
that
thing.
really
like,
is a
like
unicorn.
there's like 4 of those.
right?
like I don't know what amount of money to throw at it, so that's why I said what I said.
There's like 4 of those
I don't
left.
know. I really
It's an
don't fucking
unmodified S13. So
Dan-
Brian,
Dan
fucking
just
tell
15,000.
us.
I
Dan,
wanna know.
look at the look on Dan's
I
face.
wanna know.
Well, I'm gonna say this: you all went above it.
Really?
Yep.
2 of you went above it by a fairly significant amount.
Yes.
If we were doing inverted Prices Right rules, Dan would win. This
Yeah.
car went for $7,300.
Fuck!
Wow.
Dude, I was gonna say 6,800.
What?
I was gonna say I have to pee.
I am
What?
shocked
I was gonna
at
say
how
Oh
cheaply
my
that
God.
I'm not
was.
gonna lie. When I saw that one, I was kind of surprised too. The only thing I can think
Dude,
of,
for $7,300, you know how many S13s that I've seen that are shells?
probably got a person.
exactly, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. I mean, like I said, I could understand the rust in the shock tower.
He's pulling the thing.
I could understand a Carfax showing a small hit in the rear, but that could be a bumper cover or tail light.
Right.
But
Insurance paid-
original owner.
If
like,
insurance
though,
paid for it. But yeah, like I said, seeing this thing, like I said, even the wear on the seat. It's a '90s Nissan, or it's a late '80s, early '90s Nissan. Not surprised to see wear on the seat.
damn.
Not really surprised to see anything that's going on with this car. But yeah, I figured this thing would be about $10,000 to $12,000 is the range I figured a car like this would
I
go
was
for.
12, and then I was like kind of.
I could
back in my head,
easily,
I was like
if that was on
68,
Bring a
and-
Trailer, I could easily see that car
20
popping
grand or
into
something
the
like that.
$15,000 to $20,000 range.
Easily.
Yeah,
Agreed.
like I said, on Bring a Trailer, I think that car would have been $5,000
Cars
more
and
than
bids
what
is
it
a
brought on
different
Cars and
realm,
Bid.
though.
It's shocking to see that car. I'm actually happy to see that
Yeah,
car
oh,
go
yeah,
for
me
that
too.
cheap
Me too.
because that means the insanity might be coming to an end.
Maybe.
Well, let's end it so Dan can go pee.
So I have to be-
Alrighty. Well, guys, it's been a great night, and
by the
we
way,
really appreciate you guys
We're
watching.
using a zip-tied camera apparatus.
Yes, we had a zip tie
Why
moment.
did you have to say that
Because
shit?
it came out so good.
We had a roadkill zip tie moment tonight. I
We
forgot
did.
the clip for the camera, so it is zip tied to
Yeah,
my.
like I said,
my
I just I was like,
tripod
wait a
Well,
minute.
Chris
Can,
does have a banging
yeah,
camera.
like I said, I did say, Kate, can we
And I
use?
have banging zip ties.
I was like,
Yeah.
can we use zip ties? And Chris looked at it and was like, yeah, we can use zip ties. And I'm like, and that, ladies and gentlemen,
Now
is
we
your
can't
roadkill
kill
zip
zip
tie
tie
moment.
moment.
We can't get the camera off after this.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
on there
It's
forever.
perfect.
Okay, Mike, we're gonna need side cutters.
Yeah.
All right,
See you guys in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
All right, bye, guys.